All right. So, welcome to another edition of Core Distillery. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to learn a little bit more about the advisors that make up core planning, and also a good opportunity just to share some insights and learn from each other. So, this week we have Dawn Abernathy, who's going to be our guest. So, Dawn, welcome for joining today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So, to get us started, we do the same format of four questions that are work, four questions that are fun. So, the first work question is, tell me about your advisor journey and how you got into the industry to get started.
Okay. Well, when I was still in undergrad in college, I was looking for a part time job. I'd had all these internships. My major was computer engineering, and I was looking for something to do my senior year while I took classes at night. And I saw that a trading company was looking for software developers. So I reached out. They said, sure, you can work here part time. And it was really cool that these traders needed to teach software developers about trading in order to even build the system correctly or make sure that we're testing it correctly. And the cool part is that this was in the year 2000 when this company was building its first electronic trading system. And this is in Chicago. It's in the financial district. It's in the places that you see in movies still to this day on LaSalle Street. So in hindsight, I'm like, wow, this is kind of part of history. So I learned a little bit about trading for that job, which was really cool. Um, that startup within that trading company later was acquired by a pretty big bank that's now under Charles Schwab. and I've been in that space a long time after that. I ended up also going to grad school because I just love the finance for financial markets and trading with a financial engineering and programming concentration. So that just means that I went way in the weeds of investment management, technical analysis, things like that for trading. But my real mission also was to like build systems. And I ended up consulting for a long time, kind of on the fence between business and technology and building systems. What I missed out on was how this trading really connected to real people, how it could really benefit individuals and really, get individuals to wealth. So I'll say about 2010 or so, after a long time of consulting and after the financial crisis was really putting a dent in this software developer world, I really had to take a step back and think about like what's important to me. And um, I applied to a few places when I was not getting hits at other places. And one was the NFL because I'm a huge NFL fan.
Right.
Another was a college who was looking for people in its investment department. Um, and so that was where I really got into personal investment management, and I managed trusts and IRAs um, through a not for profit where clients' trusts and IRAs were managed at no additional cost. As long as they were leaving a pretty good chunk of it to that charity when they passed away. So I worked with a bunch of other certified financial planners, and I really thought, this is what I really want to do, and that's something I should pursue. So, long story short, I ended up moving from Chicago to St. Louis. In the course of that move, I ended up back between technology and finance. But along the way, I was able to get certified as a certified financial planner. And after a lot of amazing adventures at big companies again, it really just struck me this year like this is the time to really pursue giving personal advice to people and changing people's lives through the power of advice. So that's how I landed here. Wild journey, but happy to be here.
That's awesome. No, that's an interesting journey in terms of the roles and the responsibilities you've had before. That's awesome.
Oh,
Well,
thanks.
so, what would you say is unique about your background and how it helps serve your clients today? I think we got a little snippet of that earlier, but maybe elaborate on that a little more.
Certainly, I think something that might be a little different is that um, um, I've really lived the life of building first generation wealth. And so I'm very passionate about that space because I feel that um, so many of us just don't have the education financially in order to really build wealth if you haven't had it already. So, there's a lot of social implications, changes to do things we're not used to doing. It takes learning new things. It takes maybe eliminating certain fears of the unknown, of things we may not have done before, like invest in the market and get over the idea that you could lose money when there's so much money to be made. So I've really lived that life of learning from so many people at all of these wild places that I've worked, from investment banks to trading companies to hedge funds, and a lot of places I can't even mention, honestly. And now they're out of business, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's been an adventure. It's for another story. But I've learned so much from people over the years when I just hadn't been exposed to this. And people were so kind to just share their knowledge, their experiences that were different from my own. So I'm really just here to pass that forward and help someone else know that you can build what you're trying to build for your life and your family's life, and maybe for generations to come.
Awesome. So cool. What would you say is your ideal client profile, or who you do your best work with, maybe?
I think my best work is with anyone who says, I want to do something different. Or, I may have never done this before, but I believe it's possible. I may not know how to get there, but with the right coaching, the right support, the right access, I can get there. So whether it's people that know, hey, I need to retire someday, I'm willing to think about my actions today in order to get there, or maybe change my behaviors or increase the good that I already do. I love just working with anybody who's got an open mind to learning, growing, and creating the future that they want to create, because it's really within reach. And I want people that can believe that their goals and dreams are actually within reach.
Gotcha.
So
Awesome.
there's no set, like, you know amount of money they have to have or anything like that. I do work with a lot of ladies, so I mean it is like hanging out at a nail shop with me when we talk money, but
That's a
but it's
great
not like.
interaction to have. Like, yeah, it sounds like that working with folks that are open to change and to be able to take advice and actually make it actionable sounds like is a key takeaway there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, why did you choose core planning, and then what has surprised you about your experience so far?
When I saw Core's website, I was really stunned, and it really deeply resonated with me. The idea of a community of people that could come together, share ideas, not have like a super aggressive, salesy, stuffy kind of culture. That was really appealing to me. I really loved the ability to really work with anyone that I wanted to work with. I love that there is no minimum assets under management. I love that there was a way for people to just get advice for a fee. And to me, it really showed that there was a way to serve people that just want advice no matter where they're at in life. So I really feel like this is a way to bring access to so many people that might possibly be overlooked um, within the financial world.
Absolutely. It's funny. It's almost like this question that we got from Guy in the comments was almost. It's like you answered it before he even asked it, but maybe you can answer in a different way, or maybe something else that you want to change about the industry. He wants to know, what is something about the industry you'd like to help change?
I would like to see a more human approach. I feel like so often people are just relegated to a number, like, what do you have? Are you rich enough? I just feel like I've seen so many negative and I've felt so many negative fields, and I've witnessed a lot of things that I haven't liked at some pretty well known companies. And I just didn't think there was a way to serve people with honest, ethical advice until I really saw an option like CORE. So for a long time, I'm like, I'm a certified financial planner, but I don't see a way to give advice in a way that really serves people. So it really excited me that there was a totally different feel. There's a totally different vibe, that, I could make people feel welcome to build their financial futures. And it's been super awesome to work with, learn from, collaborate with so many awesome advisors at CORE and planners and coaches. And that's just been phenomenal, just how supportive everyone is of each other, able to share knowledge, learn from each other. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it is a unique community for sure. I think we all have some very similar thoughts and feelings about what we'd like to do differently in the industry. So that's awesome. All right, so those were our businessy questions, right? So now let's get into some fun questions. So if you had to choose a favorite type of music, what would you go with? What would you say is your favorite, either type, artist, album, whatever you want?
Okay. I would have to say that most people that know me and see me, they know I tend to be in a very positive, very chill kind of mood. Um, and with how just hectic my life is with family and kids and just being busy so much, I listen to a lot of calming music. So I listen to um, let's see, a lot of contemporary gospel. Um, Here and there you'll get like maybe some old R&B. I like to stay in a very mellow, happy place and kind of spread that. So that helps me to have fun, stay relaxed when things are kind of busy and chaotic around me. It helps me to be very even and chill.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Awesome. What would you say is a book or a movie that you've recently really enjoyed?
Okay, my favorite book of all time is Boundaries. Um, I think it's When to Say Yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life. I felt like this book was so powerful because uh, I think for so many people that are positive and nice and want to help people, I don't think we really think about what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So I actually even apply it work wise and in life. Um, and I'll share this. So often I talk to people about financial matters, and I often have to say that you can't fix things with money that are not money problems. And what
That's an
that really,
observation. Yes. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you there.
okay, I'll pause on that, but that took a minute for it to sink in when it came to me. But I'm like, man, it's like, okay, we're out here trying to build our wealth. We're trying to help people. We're trying to use it for good and, make the world a better place and help our families and all of that. But, we also have to know what our limits are. And I don't think that's being a bad person. I don't think that's being mean, but I think, you can throw money at some things and it just won't fix it. Like, if you had a health problem, maybe money can maybe get access to maybe some different care providers or some extra support, but it doesn't cure your health. So I think just overall, I think money is is something that we have to have proper attitudes about. So that's something else that I really bring to my practice in my life, and I talk about a lot as well. But I just love the boundaries book because it applies to so many things, personally, professionally, to just keep healthy boundaries, do whatever you're supposed to be doing in life, and what you're not supposed to be doing, be okay with saying no nicely, respectfully, and being at peace that it's not something you're supposed to do anyway.
Yeah. someone I knew at church was like, "You were the nicest, most helpful person, but I recommend this book for you." And so he was trying to help me establish some boundaries myself. So sometimes us helper types need that help, you know. So I agree
Absolutely.
with you on that book for sure. Balance in finding that as a working professional, working mom is hard to do. So how do you balance all the things that you need to do as a busy parent as well as a professional?
I make a lot of lists, and it doesn't mean I get through all the lists every day, but I do mark off what's most important to get done for that day. And I will just note things that I want to do, but if it doesn't happen today, don't beat myself up over it. At the end of the day, I think about some of the basic things we have to do in a day. We have to eat. We need to make sure our kids and households are healthy and taken care of. We have to pay bills. We have to do our work. But outside of that, I really just say, you know what? Each day has enough trouble of its own, and tomorrow we will keep working at it and be okay with that. I will admit that I don't sleep enough. I think that's sometimes the challenge of productive people. But at a certain point, I have to say, okay, I have to stop, even myself, trying to cram more into a day.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So, what is one meal that you would share with family or friends? Maybe your favorite meal. Let's say that.
This is a hot topic, and I am going to answer barbecue. Okay, not really. Maybe sometimes, but I'll probably answer pizza. I know we're very passionate about pizza at Core Planning. And I'm from Chicago. I love Chicago style pizza. I'm in the St. Louis area, and there is a different style of pizza. And is it the one that I'll choose first? No. But I
Same here.
respect it. It's still good.
And when you said
uh,
barbecue, I didn't know if you're going to go down the road of like barbecue chicken pizza with pineapple, maybe was where you're going next, but I guess not.
I am a huge fan of barbecue chicken pizza with pineapple. I know pineapple is a polarizing topping for pizza, but there's something about the sweetness with the savory. I just absolutely love it. I can understand why some people would not like it as well, because if you just want a savory profile, I could see the sweetness interrupting that. But I love sweet things too. So I'm a big barbecue chicken pizza fan. But I try a lot of pizza. I'm kind of open on pizza with little kids. Sometimes you end up in places where the pizza's not great, but it's pizza. And pizza brings
Mm.
people together. So I really do love pizza. And even when I'm dieting, I love pizza bowls. Take the crust out, just have your cheese and your meat and your toppings, tons of veggies. Big fan of just all things related to pizza. I make my own pizza. I love making a homemade wheat crust, but I'm very passionate about pizza.
Well, we definitely appreciate your perseverance as somebody who loves Chicago style pizza. Living in St. Louis, you probably have fewer options than you like, but you make the best of it. So that's good.
I've seen some good
uh,
attempts, and I'll give some honorary awards at attempts at Chicago style pizza in St. Louis. Um, but I do have some favorites in Chicago, and they are definitely Giordano's and Lou Malnati's, probably in that order. Controversial take, but
nah,
I'm happy eating
I'm there
pizza
with
with
you.
anyone.
All right. So our last question for you here is, what is your perfect day? Maybe describe for us what does your perfect day look like?
Okay, a perfect day is 8 hours of sleep. Um, my children playing together beautifully, helping each other, um, being able to sleep in for a little bit till maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's extra nice. Um, and I'd also say that perfect day would include probably stand up till 1 or 2 in the morning because you have that quiet time to yourself to, um, honestly, I'm probably in Quicken. I'm analyzing my own finances. Fun fact, I've
I was gonna say maybe
tracked
that's why you're not getting sleep.
that's probably it. It's the quiet and the peace where everyone's sleeping and I can, look at my personal finances, finish my own business, all of that. It's just something about it. So that's why I need to sleep in on the perfect day. There will be lots of football involved, um, lots of NFL. Um, I've gotten into college recently, so um, definitely a lot of football. If it's a Saturday, that's great. If it's a Sunday, I'm probably not sleeping in. But if it's a Saturday, definitely any kind of football. Um, Checking my fantasy football teams, winning my matchup. That's part of a good day. All about just the bragging rights for it. Um, it's something about the analytics and the sports combined that's super fun to me. Um, that day would also involve pizza.
Yeah, it's
It would involve
evergreen. That's right.
exactly. It would involve me not having to cook. I do love to cook, but there's the cleanup, there's the process, all of that. So a perfect day would include someone else cooking. Um,
Yeah.
and then just either chilling with friends and family or, you know, having a good time with, people that I don't know and the mood is good, people are positive. That's really the makings of a good day for me.
It does sound good. Awesome. One last one Justin threw in here as well too. So, with your experience in trading systems, what do you think about the rise of high frequency trading algorithms? Do you feel like it's changed the investing landscape for retail clients or advisors? So, we were enjoying some laid back, leisurely conversation, and then Justin had to pull us into doing some more brain work here. So, what do you say on that topic, Don?
He's going to pull me back into 2005 and 6 and 10 and those kinds of days where I was deep into these places that were building such things. Um, I feel like it benefits institutions. And as like an individual investor, a personal investor, meh, doesn't necessarily impact like the average one of us that happens to invest with a long term, low cost investment approach. I'm a big fan of long term, low cost. So, I kind of stay out of the day to day, day trading and all of that. Um, just to be diversified, not have to be at the whims of what happens from day to day. It also helps with the peace and stability long term. With such a diversified portfolio and everything being in ETFs and mutual funds. So um, I'd say for high frequency and all this awesome algorithmic stuff, great for institutions, but in my world with personal investing, not so bothered.
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. Well, awesome. I really appreciate so much your time and your insights and your story, Dawn. It was really great getting to know more about you and your background, and really appreciate you joining us for the distillery today. So,
Yeah, it's been awesome, Patrick. Thanks for having me.